Welcome to the world's fourth largest lake, or at least what used to be the fourth largest. This is the Aral Sea, a body of water in Central Asia with the northern part in Kazakhstan and the south contained in Uzbekistan. As the badly edited animation is showing, the lake has gradually shrunk since the 1960s. The reason is due to the siphoning of the lake's water off into the nearby desert for irrigation projects. The Soviet Union, which controlled the lake at the time, decided to divert massive amounts of water from the Amu and Sur Darya rivers in order to transform the arid, surrounding lands into fertile soil to grow cotton and rice. The diversion of the rivers, however, meant that the lake could no longer obtain enough water to fill its basin, so it steadily shrank. Eventually, the lake split into two halves, a north and a south half. After that, the southern lake split again, with the southeastern part quickly drying up completely and the southwest being reduced to a mere sliver of water. As described by the former UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, the lake shrinking has been one of the planet's worst environmental disasters. But what was so special about the Aral Sea and its importance to the environment? As with so many other environmental disasters, both humans and wildlife have been negatively affected by this catastrophe. The lake used to support 1/6 of the USSR's fishing industry. The fish formerly present in the lake, such as the Sur Darya sturgeon and the Aral trout, have either become critically endangered or outright extinct. If that wasn't dire enough, invasive fish species like the Baltic herring and the big scale sand smelt, which were introduced as a last-ditch effort to revive the fishing industry, with more salt-tolerant fish due to increased salinity, outcompeted the natives by overeating and causing the collapse of the lake's zooplankton population, denying what little food was then available to the rest. As with the surrounding environment, the lake's drying up and desertification process has led to increased dust storms that plague the region. With less available water in the lake's basin, pollutants from old Soviet industrial sites and even a secret USSR bioweapon lab have increased in concentration in the water, contaminating the few available water sources left to the impoverished residents of the basin. So, how in the world can we reverse all of these tragic problems and curb them? Kazakhstan has actually managed to curb the northern Aral Sea's shrinking by redirecting rivers in its territory back towards the lake, and away from the ultimately unsuccessful desert irrigation projects. The fate of the desiccated south, though, is trickier. The Uzbek government controls this half of the lake, and the only way it can be restored is if they can be convinced to abandon their own irrigation practices, which they so far refuse to do, as they would lose critical agriculture at the same time. The other alternative is to plant vegetation in the empty lake bed, so that the exposed soil can become tied down by a root system, and to prevent the formation of more dust storms. The favored tree species for this is the saxaul, which can natively be found in arid environments around Central Asia. The trees are both drought tolerant and can grow in nutritionally poor, sandy soil. Ultimately, the Aral Sea's fate represents the worst of the endless struggle between nature and economy that humans have had to grapple with. A story of a government that made one desert lush with crops, while accidentally creating another as a result.